Today's tutorial will go into how to add interactions in your prototype. Today we're just going to cover very basic interactions, like how to link from one page to another, how to link to the same page, and that sort of things. So far we have been working in the design panel, in the design tab right here in your properties panel, which normally just that's how you design the look of your artboards. So or everything that has to do with interaction, when you want to add interactions, then it occurs under the prototype tab right here at the top to the right. So that's probably where we're going to work today mostly. So to demonstrate what we want to do today, the three basic things that I want to go through today is that I have another page here, which the activity that is completed. I will share this link with you, the link to this practice file, so you can have a go yourself. So this is just to say, because if you see what an example, it may be easier to understand what we are trying to do. So if I select this one, right, and I click present, then the preview here. So one of the things that I wanted to show today, if you look at the top header, stick to the page. You see how you scroll down and this stick stays in place? That's one of the things. So you scroll down and that stays. So that's one of it. Then you click here and you click to the same page, so which is also known as anchor. So back to the top, and it goes back to the top. So how to do that, and how to do basically like linking from page to page. Like for example, if I click in About Us here, it takes me to another page. Simple as that. Another thing that I wanted to demonstrate quickly is how to do this. This is quite easy to do. And how to do the stickies. Keep your eye on this, because that's the next effect. So if you scroll down, you see that this element is moving, right? And when it reaches to the top, it stays at the top and the rest scrolls. So that's another effect that you can do in Figma that I will demonstrate today. So those are the things that I wanted to demonstrate today. Okay, so let's start off. So I'm going to move to the page where that is like a blank one, when nothing, to start doing this with you. So what I'm going to start with a basic link, the basic link from one page to the other one. So to do that, you have to first select, you have to select the element that is going to be linked, like the button, basically in this case. So you go and select About Us. If when you click the first time, it's not selected, it's because it's probably inside a group of a frame. So you just double click until you get to the element that you want to select, okay? Then you go to the prototype tab, right? And there are two ways to link. The easiest one of the easiest one is, you see this little plus here? So basically you just drag it to the destination like that. And yeah, and then there is this interaction here, this little pop-up window appears with some options. That you have trigger, which basically trigger means, okay, what is going to trigger the animation? Like it's going to be on tap, on drag, on hover, etc. And if you press a key, and the slightly differences between these that will go more into another activities. And after the late means is that automatically start after, for example, 3 seconds. When the person loads on the page, after 3 seconds the animation starts. So, but today is on tap, which is the basic click, this one, okay. And then some options appear. One of the things that Figma has I find it interesting, and I like it, but some people have mixed feelings about it, is that the options that appear here appear as you navigate, as you select the option now, and I will demonstrate that now. This is one way to add an interaction. So I'm going to delete it. I can delete it by clicking here. And I'm going to add another way that you can add interaction. So selecting the same button, and instead of dragging, because sometimes you have many pages, right? And you just don't see, or you don't see all the pages right easily. So you go here and you click on the plus, okay? And then on top, that's the one that appears by default. Normally, it normally appears the last one that you used, okay? So keep that in mind. Then the action, which is, okay, what do you want me to do? So you want me to navigate to, or to when you want to go to a different page, you just tell it navigate to. There are other options that we are going to look at in another activity, but for this one, we just want it to go from home to about. So navigate to, as you see, as you add elements or you add actions, the elements that are related to that one appear, and I like that in Figma. So it's telling me, okay, where do you want to go? And I say, okay, that's why it's good to name the pages, because it could be very, very confusing if you have pages number 2, number 3, number 4. So about, and it's just linking right away. And the sort of animation that you want. So if you want instant, there is different effects that you can try them on. Let's see the difference. At this moment, instant is like basically from this page to this page right away. And that's it for today. I'm going to close it, and then to see if it works, I say select the page or the frame, go to preview, and let's see. Okay, click. Yep, okay, it worked. Fine, pretty easy. Now I want to do the link to the same page. So the link to the same page, like the anchor link that I was talking about before, that I was demonstrating before, is this one. This is the button that I want to be linked to the top. I don't know about you, but sometimes, you know how this page is using auto layout, okay? And if there is another, if you don't know what auto layout is, please check the tutorial. It's very important to understand auto layout in Figma, okay? But if I am using auto layout, I cannot move the elements freely. Like if let's say that I want a little bit of space here, and I just, it doesn't do, you can't, because it's, the auto layout is the one that controls how elements are aligned. So I do not want to modify the auto layout for the whole page, okay? So I mentioned in a previous tutorial that one way to, if I want only this element to be different from the rest, you can frame it inside frame the selection, and that way is a way to divorce this element from the rest. That is one way, and that's completely valid, and that's completely okay. What I wanted to actually check that it's another option that is this. If you want an element that has basically ignored the auto layout, but you just don't want to remove the auto layout, you can select the element, and you see this next to position right here. What I'm telling this button right here, I just want to ignore the auto layout, what it's saying in the name, ignore auto layout. And if I tick here, as you can see, it kind of disappears because everything is kind of auto layout, fit, hogging the height, etc. So it's basically ignoring this element. So it's adjusting according to the rules that I already set. But I can freely move this element to wherever I want to go. So, okay, this is what I want it to be. This is perfect now. I'm happy with this. Now I want to link to the top. So I select this element, and I can go to prototype again. And obviously you can drag it like you did before, or you can show add in an interaction here. And you say on tap, because I want to have it on click. And then you, instead of navigate to, you select scroll to, which is scroll to another part of the page. And then it appears the destination in here. When destination, instead of showing the pages, is showing you the layers, the main layers. And that's why it's important to name them. So I called it header. Header. This is if you want the X. The offset is kind of if you want kind of to go straight to the top, or just a little bit of, not right at the top, like a little bit of internal margin, like giving a specifics inside the header and where do you want to be directed to. And the animation, this is when the animation is cool to say and animate. That will give you the soft back to the top instead of the bloop, it changed and it went to the top. So I select animate, and as you see, options appear as you need them. So you can explore all these options. It's very, 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 there is a lot of, and it keeps growing. It keeps growing, many other options. So I'm going to just select is in or is out. I'm going to leave it as it is. Duration is like, how long, I mean, you can make it as slow or as fast as you want. Okay, so now I'm selecting this and I'm trying it on. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's go to the bottom. Let's see what happens. Okay, yep, it went to the top. All right, so those are basics of linking pages between pages. Okay, so what we want to do next is the fixed element. So when this element is fixed to the top, that's called a fixed position. Okay, so again, it's in the prototype tab. It is under the scroll behavior. It is under the scroll behavior. The fixed animation is an option that you select under the position, which is, if I scroll with parent, it's called fixed and is not highlighted, is gray, which means that we cannot select it. Because one thing that is important to know when it comes to fixed position, which it took me a while to discover, by the way, when I was learning Figma, is that it just doesn't, when an element is inside auto layout, you cannot arrange fixed position to the element. So let me see, fixed position. So I'm going to do the same, ignore auto. So I had to add ignore auto layout. Okay, as you can see now, because it's ignoring the header, the rest of the elements are completely ignored, and they are kind of rearranging depending on the set of the tools. You can adjust that by adding padding, etc., and or another element if it bothers you. But that's something that you need to be aware of. Now that this is ignoring the auto layout, it's not being considered when you're stacking elements on top of each other. So now I ticked here, yes, and then I'm going to prototype. And scroll with parent, is the one that comes by default, which means the elements that you see are going to scroll down as normal, which is what you want most of the time. But fixed is the one that stays exactly in place. And so I click here, and then I first preview to see if it's going to work. Okay, yep, it's working. Back to top, yep, it's working. So that's one of the things that needs to be aware of. Then we do have another option that is the sticky, the one we can do. Obviously, we can do the same with this page, like select this element first. Ignore auto layout, please, and then select and say fixed, stay in place. The one that I was demonstrating you before, and I'm going to come back to the one that is completed just to have a look at what we're doing next. This, see, this is the page. So this bit here, which is a very slight difference between fixed and sticky. Okay. If I select this element, right, there's something that it needs to be aware. Okay, it wouldn't work unless you take ignore auto layout, like it happens with fixed. But I do not know why, and this was very confusing. It is, even though it's part of the auto layout, this element is still part of the auto layout. Okay, I haven't ticked ignore yet, and it's still showing sticky as an option, but it doesn't work. Okay. So I'm going to select this element. I'm going to say, please ignore auto layout. And yeah, that's what happens. So you move it according to what you want. And then you are going to check preview and see if that works. Let's see what happens. And then, okay, it is going, because it's hiding behind this. It is working, but it's hiding behind. And it's just a little bit one of those things that is kind of annoying. You can select the element and add a padding at the top, like let's put 100 pixels, like adding a lot of margin in here and see what happens. I think it's probably too much, but then you scroll down, and let me see, it didn't work. Let's see. Oh, scroll with parent. So yeah, sticky. Please, let's go preview again and let's see if now it's working or not. Yeah, so now it's doing what I wanted to do. I don't think there are many occasions when you may need this specific effect, but it's there, and it just kind of shows the difference between sticky and fixed. Another thing that I kind of wanted to demonstrate, and it's just, I think this is the one that is completed. Yeah, this bit of it, which is very easy to do in Figma. If I have this element, right, and you know how it says vertical layout, I am going to tell the frame to be fixed, so it stays in the center of the frame, and I'm going to change this. Okay, so I wanted to, there are two things that are important in this case. Okay, the frame needs to be in this size. I need to tick clip content, so it just hides what is outside the frame. That's what clip content is for. I move it a little bit so there's kind of a visual cue that is something else. That's all. And then in the prototype, when I say no overflows, no scrolling, that is right here. Basically, what overflow scrolling is what to do with the elements that are outside the frame. And what I'm going to tell is to scroll horizontal. So that should do it. So let's see. See if it works or not. So that's all. So it's easy. So basically what it's using is the size of the frame as a mask. Okay, you are hiding the elements that are outside the frame with the clip content, and then basically say, well, scroll what is inside the frame horizontally. You can obviously do it that vertically as well, but that's one of the things that are very commonly used, and I think they are very easy in Figma. Oh, this element is right here. All right, so I think this is it for this tutorial. This is just very basic elements that I wanted to demonstrate. I'm going to move this back. And yep, so in the other tutorials there will be more specific effects, like creating drop menus for mobile, etc. It will be in another tutorial. Okay. Well, thank you for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye.